So with the New England Patriots, not exactly doing a whole lot in free agency, or really not necessarily a whole lot this offseason in general, as Patriots fans and kind of knowing this new philosophy that this team is going to take care of their own players, one of the big questions is, when are they going to get an extension done with Christian Barmore? Better question, are they going to get an extension done with Christian Barmore? Barmore, who is in contract year here in 2024, is one of the most prolific interior defensive linemen in the entire National Football League and really a major piece of the Patriots defense last year. One of really the only successions of this past 2023 season. Are the Patriots going to extend him? So good enough for you guys. I can actually answer that question. And in fact, I don't need to answer that question when Gerard Mayo can answer that question for us, because during the league meetings, he obviously sat down with reporters. He was asked a lot of questions for like 35 minutes. And one of them was about Christian Barmore. If they had talked to him, if they discussed an extension, where is it at? And rather, let's just hear what Gerard Mayo had to say so you don't hear it from my voice. So hopefully you guys can hear this. I don't know why you wouldn't, but you never know with software. But all right, let's hear what Gerard Mayo had to say about the question.
Guys, is Christian Barmore someone you'd like to keep around long term? And have you guys approached them about an extension?
But one thing with Barmore, he's one of those players that he's developed here. There were some questions coming out of college, obviously, his potential. He's done a fantastic job really growing up. I think DeMarcus and Joe Kim have done a good job really helping develop him. And look, once again, it goes back to we want to keep our own, right? We want to keep our own players. And we have had talks with Barmore, and hopefully it works out.
Have you had talks with Matthew Judon?
All right, then they get into Matthew Judon, and that's not for today's video, so we aren't going to talk about that. But as you can see, Gerard Mayo was asked about Christian Barmore, in which he did say, yes, him and Barmore, not him and Barmore, but the Patriots and Christian Barmore have had talks about a contract extension. He did not say where they're currently at. Are they close? Are they far apart? But they do acknowledge the fact that Christian Barmore is in contract year and that he is a guy that ultimately they would like to lock up for the future. Now, look, Christian Barmore, too, is homegrown, as you heard Gerard Mayo say. That fits this big philosophy of the new Gerard Mayo era here in New England, where the first priority before bringing in new guys via free agency, trade in the draft, is taking care of your own players, guys who deserve to be here. Kind of goes back to the whole like captain's patch thing, because that's something Gerard Mayo wants to add this year, is to add patches to the team captain's jerseys, basically giving recognition to the players that rightfully deserve so. One of those obviously being Christian Barmore. Before we continue on today's video, though, guys, I do want to give a quick shout out to the sponsors of the channel. If you guys want to make sure that you, your friends, and your family are protected from the scary world that is the internet, which is probably where, most of our kind of criminal activities are coming from in today's society, make sure you guys check out Aura. It's also one of the best ways to support the channel. Obviously, liking, comment, subscribing, and sharing is also very important. But you guys signing up for Aura, checking out Aura, goes a massive way in making sure that we can continue making videos on this channel and making Patriots related content for you guys. There's going to be a link in the description box below and pinned in the comment section below if you guys do want to check out Aura. What you guys are going to get, it's right now not going to cost you anything. Aura is going to give you a 14-day free trial when you sign up with the link in the description box below. And what Aura is an identity protection service. What is that? It's pretty much in the name. They're going to protect your identity. Like I said, most of the threats that we face today are online. And Aura is going to make sure that they scour the internet and make sure that your social security number, your credit card information, your phone number, your address, your email, all of your important information is not being utilized on the black web, on the internet, being sold to people without your information. Trust me, the last thing you want is to one day find out that your credit score is messed up or that your bank account is drained because it was leaked on the internet and you didn't know about it. Guys, sign up for Aura, 14-day free trial. Make sure that your information is not being utilized without your information or without. As for Christian Barmore, I feel like it's a very tough situation if you're in the Patriots' shoes, because If you're Christian Barmore, you're going to highball. Of course you're going to highball. But at the end of the day, he's going to say, look what I just did this past season. And that was with pretty much no Josh Uche for most of the season. That was pretty much with no Matthew Judon for the entire season. That was with not a very good secondary. He really was the thing that thrusted the Patriots defense forward into keeping them in games and for the most part, multiple times holding opponents to 10 or less points. He is going to take that and run with it. But if you're the Patriots, on the flip side of things, you say, yeah, but that's the only season in which you have produced like that. He had a pretty decent rookie 2021 season. In 2022, dealt with injuries, took a step back, and then in 2023, finally unlocked himself. The question is going to be, moving forward on a consistent basis, what are the Patriots going to get from Christian Barmore? Are they going to get what they got last year? Because if that's the case, he's worth $20, $25 million per year based off of other contracts players like him have gotten, which we will touch upon. But if he's going to be inconsistent, he's going to produce like he did in 2022, 2021, he's probably more of like a $15 million a year guy. And the last thing the Patriots want to do is overpay for a guy if they're only getting a 2021 or 2022 version of him. Now, what I like to do in moments like this is I like to look at what other players at the same position are making, right? Because I feel like when you're looking at players in the interior of the defensive line, if you're top notch, right, if you're able to stop the run, but especially get to the passer, you're going to get a bag. And that's for the lone fact that it's harder to find a quality interior defensive lineman than it is an edge rusher. You can find an edge rusher that's going to be able to get to the quarterback, not that hard, but an interior defensive lineman that's able to collapse a pocket is very rare because a lot of the interior defensive linemen are just big bodies that are there to stop the run. A lot don't make an actual impact. So let's see. We go over here. Right now, the highest paid defensive tackle, especially with Aaron Donald out of the league now, is Chris Jones. Chris Jones is making about $31.7 million per year. Christian Wilkins, who just signed a massive deal this offseason with the Raiders, which is why it was okay the Patriots passed on him, is making $27.5 million per year. Justin Metabuke, I believe I'm saying that right, who got an extension this offseason with the Raiders, is making about $24.5 million. Quinnen Williams is making $24 million. Jeffrey Simmons is making $23 million. Darion Payne is making 22.5 and Dexter Lawrence is making about 21. To me right now, what I'd be willing to give Christian Barmore is probably a deal that's because I'm not willing to give him a Justin Metabuke deal. Okay. I don't believe that he's there. He's only had one season where he's produced. I'm not giving you $24.5 million off the bat, especially not more than Quinnen Williams. To me, you're probably giving him between $20 to $22 million is where I would say. That cracks him into the top 10 of highest paid defensive tackles, but it doesn't get him into like top 3, top 4 to where you're saying you're paid higher than Christian Wilkins, paid higher than Justin Metabuke, and paid higher than Quinnen Williams, who all, at least right now, I would say are better players who most importantly have shown more consistency. But again, based off of how he played last year, considering he's still young, he's going to have the opportunity to get a bag. You're going to have to give him at least $20 million per year, especially if we go back and we look. The guys who finally start peaking below $20 million is Jonathan Allen, Vita Vea, Kenny Clark, Ed Oliver. All of these guys, I would say Christian Barmore is better than. So yeah, like I said, you're probably starting to have to give him at least $20 million. If you're the Patriots, you're taking a gamble here. You're playing with fire a little bit because if you do decide that you're not going to wait and extend him this offseason, then you're kind of in a position where he either takes a step back next year and congratulations, you don't have to pay him as much money, or he plays how he did last year, if not better, and now you have to give him even more money, and you now have to compete with other teams, which is only going to rise his stock in the amount that you have to pay even more. So, Patriots fans, this is where I want to kick it to you, okay? This past season, he put up 8.5 sacks. That led the Patriots in sacks also, by the way. Should the Patriots get an extension done with him now, or should they wait it out and see what he can kind of do in terms of a replication in this 2024 season? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on this video and, of course, subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. Appreciate you guys so much for watching. Most importantly, though, never forget, go Pats.